All right, welcome everyone. This is the P90X video. I'm going to talk to you about what is P90X, and I'm not here to sell it to you, but just talk about what the program is and what I've experienced in doing it, and why I like it. And I'll walk you through the program and what's in the program. And then if you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments or whatever. But P90X is a fitness program, and it's a comprehensive fitness program, and it'll transfer your body from something you currently don't like or aren't happy with to a future state that's gonna make you feel amazing, and you're gonna be much healthier when you're done with the program. It's an intense program. The P is power, so it's a power program, basically wrapped around power type workouts, and there's a good mix of cardio and yoga and flexibility. I'll talk you through that. You get 12 workouts on DVD, and that's where the magic is. You get a lot of variety, and you get a 90-day calendar with the program that you can follow, and you get 3 programs actually. So there's a classic version, a lean version, and a doubles version. And I'll show you that. And then there's a diet and fitness guide, which comes with it. You got Tony on the back. Okay. And the diet and fitness guide is actually pretty good. It'll help you. It'll help you through the program. Okay. And the diet, the diet's pretty good. I'll talk about it a little bit, but let me just say this about the diet. If you're really into diets, any diet will work. You just gotta watch your food intake and make sure you're eating the right amount. You can't eat too little, or you'll run out of energy. And if you eat too much, then it's gonna undo all your gains that you want. So, but the diet is good. I never did the diet, but because there's a lot involved. It's the shopping list and then the recipes, and but we did pick and choose recipes that are in the diet book, and they are good for the most part. I'll say that. There aren't any that you won't like. And then lastly, Tony Horton is the trainer. Now, the benefit there is he's a world-class trainer, and it feels like he's in your home training you, and he's there to help you succeed. And when you think you're going to fail, he'll just say the right thing to make you laugh, or feel better about yourself, or don't beat yourself up, and those kinds of really good messages that keep you persevering. So that's the last thing, is he's very helpful, even if it is just a guy on a DVD talking. Okay, now I'm going to walk you through the DVDs. You get 13 DVDs, and 12 of them have workouts on them, and I'm just going to quickly walk through each one without doing I'm not going to do a breakdown of every move or every, just talk about what I like about it, what's challenging, what's not challenging, and what you're doing in the workout, and what's targeted. Okay. The first disc you get, it's actually not a workout. It's this, how to bring it. It's disc 0 actually. And, by the way, they have really snappy, really good marketing on this. Really, really good brand logo, and how to bring it. Bring it's their catchphrase that they use. This is like a 12 or 15 minute video where Tony's talking about the program and what's in the program, kind of like what I'm doing now, but a quick version. And he just tells you what you can expect and what you should be doing. Okay. And that's that. So nothing too complicated in there. All right, the next one this is disc 1, chest and back. Okay. Now, chest and back is exactly what you think it is. You're targeting your chest muscles and your back muscles, and that's not the only 2 muscles you're using. You're using a lot of your body, but that's what's going to get the benefit. Okay. So, chest. This one is about 55 minutes long, I think. And what you're doing in this workout is you're essentially rotating push-ups and pull-ups, okay? And you're doing a round, so you're going to do a push-up and a pull-up, and then um, a different kind of push-up and a different kind of pull-up, okay? So there's, what I mean by that is, you're changing your hand position. You're either doing conventional push-ups or military push-ups, which are down here or wide, um, or you're doing pull-ups or chin-ups or mixed grip pull-ups or something like that. Um, and this one just blasts your body. And for anyone that's, you put this in on day one and do it, you're like, I'm in for a rude awakening. Because it's not easy. It's not easy. And the first time I did this, you do a nice extended warm up. I mean, it's a really good 9-10 minute warm up at the beginning. You're loosening up your body and you're stretching and you're getting yourself ready. So you're not going to hurt yourself. And that's probably my biggest recommendation is don't skip the warm ups and don't skip the cool downs. And I'll talk about the cool downs in a minute. But the warm ups are really good and friendly for your body. Usually you're doing a bunch of jumping jacks and moving your body around, but then also stretching. So you're stretching your shoulders or your arms or your neck. Because the last thing you want to do is go into it cold and tear a bunch of muscle tissue or tendons or ligaments, and then you can't do it at all. Then you're screwed. Then you got to go to rehab or you have to have surgery. So, that's my best guidance for you is to do the warm-ups, okay? So you do that warm-up, and then you start doing push-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, pull-ups. And after a while, you stop doing pull-ups, and you pick up the dumbbells or the bands, and you do rows. And rows are just pick them up. You're just rowing, just like you're rowing a boat. You're using those back muscles. And, you can buy bands at the store or cheap dumbbells at Walmart or Target or wherever, but that's what you want. So you do a round of that, I think 12 exercises, and then you do it again, but you do it in reverse order. So the first time you do push-ups and then pull-ups, the next time you do pull-ups and then push-ups, okay? I love this workout. You're not going to burn a lot of calories over 55 minutes, but what you are going to do is just blow up your chest. When you're done, you're going to feel and then the next morning you'll feel it. You'll feel it when you're, doing your shampoo and your hair and all that stuff. At the end of this is X. I'll talk about that when you get to it. But that's essentially chest and back. Awesome workout. All right, now the second disc is plyometrics. And if you're not familiar with plyometrics, it's a lot of squatting and lunging around and jumping around, okay? And if you're like me and you want to do the classical, the classic program, P90X, you're doing chest on and back on day one, and then you're doing plyometrics on day two, which works because you're working the upper body on the first day, and then the second day you're doing your legs. So you get a great variety right off the bat, and you allow your upper body to heal while you're working your lower body. So now, same kind of format. You do a really extended warm up, probably I'm gonna guess about 12 minutes. And it's a mixture of lunging around and stretching the legs out, just getting them ready for a real intensive workout. Because this is just under an hour, and it's intense. It's intense, but it's not so intense that it can't be done. I've done this probably 100 times over the years, and you just do what you can. And the first time I put it in, I couldn't do the whole thing, especially in the second half of the workout. After that 30-minute mark, your legs are dead, your heart's dying. But just do what you can. You're really just mimicking what they're doing on the screen, and you're following Tony's instructions. By the way, I'll say one thing that's special about this workout um, Tony's out, like Tony's a trainer, and there's always three people doing the workout. Okay, and there's usually one really awesome superstar that's like a coach. Okay, and then there's always a second really excellent person, almost like a pro ringer. And then there's a third person that's doing like a modification. So like if you can't do the full jumping up in the air, maybe they're just kind of hopping or they're compromising somehow. Um, but just do what they're doing, or just stop and take a break, or march in place, or do it. Just do whatever you can do to get through it. But in this one, what's really special about it, which is what I was saying, the third person is a guy named Eric, and he's got a artificial leg. he's got he's got one leg, and then he's got a artificial leg, and he's jumping around on it. Now, like a lot of times I've put this disc in and thought, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I'm not gonna go full bore because I just don't have the energy today, or I'm not in the right mindset. And you put the disc in, and then you see Eric. Eric's got one leg, so then you like, okay, game on. I'm doing it. Okay, so that's plyometrics. There's a really excellent cool down at the end where you really stretch out your legs. You're focusing on number one are my hamstrings, because jumping around is really torture on your hamstrings and your butt. So you're really gonna stretch those out good, and then you're gonna stretch out your quads. Okay, and that's plyometrics. All right, now the third disc is shoulders and arms, which I like to call charms, or everybody calls it charms. And this is like, if you're doing the classic program, you get the day 3, you put in shoulders and arms. It's like, all right, game on. Because who doesn't like to do curls and shoulder presses and just work on your arms? That's basically what you're doing. And after plyometrics, on day 2, where you might burn 450, 500, 550 calories doing plyometrics, and your legs are shredded and shot. You don't want to do anything else with your legs on day 3. So it's great to focus on your upper body, and it's got a really good formula. So you do this really nice warm up. You're doing a bunch of jumping jacks, and you're stretching out your arms and your shoulders and your neck. Okay, and you do that for about 10 minutes. And then this is a kind of workout where you repeat, and it always follows the same order. So it's a shoulder, and then a bicep, and then a tricep. And the shoulder moves are like, they're like different, military presses, or what he calls raises. So you're either raising up to target your front, or you're raising like that. And on those, you use lighter weights, or lighter dumbbells, or lighter bands. And then on the biceps are almost always like some kind of curl, either a double curl or a one-arm curl, one at a time, or what he likes to call cross-body curls. Okay. And then the triceps, you're targeting the biggest muscle in the back of your arm is your triceps. There's 3 of them, and you're doing kickbacks, and you're doing like these kind of presses and that kind of stuff. So you do shoulders, biceps, triceps, and then you repeat. And then you do 3 new moves: shoulders, biceps, triceps, and then you repeat. And I think you do, in this one, 24 moves total. Okay. And it's good. It's good variety. It's good. It always makes you feel good. I always think, it's the 3rd day of the week. I get to do shoulders and arms, so it makes me happy. And then when you're done, you do the ab workout. Okay. So that's shoulders and arms. It's going to be popular and a favorite of everybody. Okay, now the 4th disc is Yoga X. Okay. Now this is controversial, and I'm in a bunch of fitness groups, and people don't like yoga, or they don't like the pace or the tempo, or they feel like they're worshiping another god or the devil, or I don't know, whatever people think of yoga is what they think of yoga. But you've just done 3 really hard days in a row. Okay. And day 4 in most weeks is yoga, either on the double schedule or the classic or the lean schedule. And this one's controversial because it's slower paced. You're not banging weights, or you're not jumping or doing a bunch of deadlifts or squats. You're really just concentrating on these stabilizing poses. You're doing power yoga, which is, vinyasas, and it's a lot of push-up type motions with upward dogs, planks to push-ups, upward dogs, downward dogs. And man, I don't understand why people don't like it. I couldn't imagine not doing yoga during a week. Um, I won't say anything too much about that. I don't want to get too judgmental because that's not what this is about. I'm just sharing the program and why I like it. But what yoga does is yoga allows you a day of rest and healing and stretching, while at the same time you're actually getting stronger, because the body doesn't get stronger unless it heals and recovers. And the body needs that recovery time. But also you're holding these poses for like 20, 30 seconds at a time. And so you're in a really deep lunge, or you're in Warrior 1 or Warrior 2, and it's hard on your legs. So it's a important strategic part of the power in the program, but it also has these healing benefits. And out of all the P90Xs, out of all the yogas I've done, this is my favorite. Now it's over 90 minutes long. I think it's 92 from end to end. That's another controversial part. I don't mind that. I can do the 90 minutes. I like doing the 90 minutes. I like doing it all right in a row. There's a good cutting point after 50 minutes where you could stop it and just be done with it after all the power vinyasas are done. But if you don't do it, the second 50 minutes of the workout is like standing poses and then stretching, and then there's a really good ab routine right at the end. Tony Horton calls it the yoga belly 7. And it's like a surprise. You're doing a ab workout now for 7 minutes. I like it. Highly recommend it. Don't skip it. If you don't like this one, find a yoga. Okay, you get to day 5, Friday, if you start on Monday. And day 5 or the 5th disc is legs and back. Now, this is essentially another formulaic where you're doing leg, back. Okay, and you do that 22 times, or 22 moves total. So it's always leg, back, and the legs are either generally a squat or a lunge or some kind of deadlift. And I used to hold dumbbells. You can do this workout with dumbbells or bands. A lot of times I'm just doing it, I'm not holding anything. The leg work's hard enough because you're doing high reps. You're generally doing 25 reps for everything. Sometimes you're doing it on one leg, sometimes you're doing both. But it'll gas you out. By the way, that's another great reason to do the yoga on day 4, because you really, doing the yoga really allows your legs to recover and heal and get stronger. But what it really does is it gets them ready for legs and back day. Okay. So legs and back, you got a nice warm up at the beginning, probably about 12 minutes, I'm guessing. And, you're doing some of the jumping jacks and the bouncing around, but then you're doing a really good stretch of your legs, and then you're getting your upper body ready for the pull-ups. And that's what's kind of different about this disc. This workout, Tony's got you doing a total body. So you're doing your legs and you're doing your back, which is sort of the whole thing. And it's a hard workout. I'm not going to lie. Especially if you're trying to do a lot of pull-ups. if you're gonna modify and use the band, like you can wrap the band around your pull-up bar and just pull down. If you got a really heavy band, like a 40-pound band or a 50-pound band, or if you're gonna modify pull-ups by putting your foot up on a chair, that's great. But if you're really gonna like go, I usually go all out on the pull-ups on this one, chin-ups and pull-ups. So I'm usually trying to hit the max for everything. It'll gas you. The leg work will gas you, and then the pull-ups will gas you. And by the second half of the workout, I'm usually like, I'm usually gasping for air. But you can burn a lot of calories on this workout, and it's great for you. It'll get you ready to do anything out in the world. Okay, and it's one of my favorites. Legs and back. Tony's great in it. Super motivational. And then when you're done, you do the ab workout. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, the sixth disc is P90X Kenpo X. Now, Kenpo X, if you don't know what Kenpo is, it's a kind of, I guess kickboxing is how I would describe it. And like there's different Kenpo centers out there. But the idea here is day 6. You've just done legs and back. So what do? You don't, it's a legs and back's total body workout. So, and that's a power workout where you're really doing a lot of heavy strength moves. Well, this is a nice change up because it's essentially a cardio. And I just did this about an hour ago. So it's like fresh in my mind. Okay. This is about an hour. It has a beautiful warm up at the beginning. And the warm-up's more of a, I wouldn't say it's yoga, but it's like pulling some of the yoga moves in. So you're like holding a lunge and you're doing a warrior one and you're doing a, I can't think of what it's called, prayer pose from a lunge. And you're getting your legs ready for all of the kicking you're about to do. Okay, so it's a really good warm-up. He's got you laying on the ground too, and you're really stretching out your hamstrings, and you're getting your groin ready. You lay in a pose. What's the pose called where you're essentially sitting on your leg. It's for your glute and for your hamstring. I'll just cheat here and look in the book. I don't mind cheating. Okay. Pigeon. Okay. By the way, the fitness guide is great. So if you ever can't remember something, just look it up. It's got the entire warm up right here on this page. Okay. So this thing is great. It tells you what all the moves are. Okay. First move, second move, third move, and it gives you a quick little description of what it is. Now, what is Kenpo? You're basically, you're doing a lot of punching, so you're just punching the air, and you don't punch as hard as you can because you can actually hurt your joints doing that. So you're just, you're punching the air, you're kicking the air, and there's a nice shoulder series at the end where you're stretching out your shoulders by doing, these kind of moves, and this is about 58 minutes long, and you're going to burn probably 350 calories or more doing this. That's about my average. And then there's a nice cool down at the end where you get on the floor, you're stretching your body, you're stretching your legs again, and you're just getting ready for the next day. So, okay, so Kenpo, and like I do Kenpo a lot on Saturdays, even if I'm not doing P90X. I just want to be able to kick all the stiffness out of my legs and get rid of that lactic acid. That's the best way I know how to do it. The 7th disc is X Stretch. Now, this is an optional day of working out. Sunday or day 7 of any day of the week, it says X Stretch or rest. So you don't have to do X Stretch. You can just take the day off of exercising, of your fitness stuff. I I find myself I want to do it. Um, and this is well, let's get into what is it. It's about 57 minutes. The whole thing is moves pulled from either the warm-ups or the yoga. So you're just stretching every inch of your body. You're starting from the neck down. You work your way right through that over an hour. And he's got you in all these ridiculous poses, which um, improves your range of flexibility over time. Okay, that's why I like it, because before I started doing P90X, I was like stiff as a board. Couldn't touch my toes. Couldn't do any of that stuff. Now I can get down and I can do a bunch of stuff. I have mobility and flexibility that I didn't have before. Okay, so most of the time you're holding a pose for 30 to 45 to 60 seconds. And like I said, starts at the neck, moves to the shoulders, to the back, you're stretching out your chest and your arms. You spend a lot of time at the end just working on your legs. And the legs need it, especially after plyometrics, legs and back yoga, and Kenpo X. It's nice to have one day dedicated to stretching. And that's pretty much the whole disc. I don't have too much more to say about it than that. Disc 8 is core synergistics. Now, that's what Tony Horton looks like, by the way. Core synergistics. So this is about, I think, 58 minutes, and it's focused on your core. So primarily shoulders, chest, your inner abdominals, and then your hips and your upper legs. Okay. And there's no formula to this one. You're just doing, you're just kind of moving around your body. You're targeting sort of like your whole trunk in every move. And a lot of it is push-ups, but you've got your hands in different positions, or you're in Sphinx, or you're doing something like that. Sphinx is where you're laying on your forearms. There's a lot of lunges too. There's a little bit of jumping around, but not too much. But you can't really work on your core without doing some lunging and jumping around. So there's some of that in there. But synergistics, it's Tony's word for compound movements or complex movements. So, for instance, there's a move in there where you're doing a lunge and then you're reaching up. Okay, so you're lunging on one side and you're reaching, and then you're lunging on the other side and reaching. Or there's another move in there where you're doing a lunge, and then with dumbbells you're doing a curl and then a press and then a kickback. Okay, so there's a lot of complicated moves and complex moves. Not complicated, but compound moves, and that's what he means by core synergistics. So this isn't on the 8th day, but I'll just say this: if you're doing the lean program, you do this a lot, and this one gets, if you're doing classic or doubles, this one gets introduced in the recovery week, which is week 4. Okay, the 9th disc is chest, shoulders, and triceps. And that's exactly what this is. It's an upper body workout, and you're working your chest, your shoulders, and triceps, and you're doing it in that order. So the chests are predominantly push-ups and planks. The shoulders are a lot of more of those raises where you're raising your shoulders up. Sometimes you're doing presses. By the way, usually you're standing. There is some sitting down in this one. And some of the push-up moves are more advanced than what you do in chest and back. Okay. So you're probably doing a push-up and then you're moving, and then you're doing a push-up or you're moving. And then the triceps, you're targeting your triceps, and you're doing different things like, I think he calls it throw the dumbbell, where you're like a quarterback throwing a football, except you're holding a dumbbell. But this one's about 55 minutes, I think. and you really are targeting your upper body, but it's a different kind of targeting than chest and back, because it's all push. The shoulders, you're pushing. The triceps, you're pushing. The push-ups, you're pushing. It's the big push, and that's what disc 9 chest, shoulders, triceps is. Okay, disc 10 is back and biceps. Okay, now Tony calls this the V workout, or I don't know. He's talking about this is the one you want to do when you want to take your shirt off or whatever. he's kind of funny. But back and biceps is what you think it is. You're targeting your back and then your biceps, and it's a pull. So when you're doing a pull up, you're pulling, and when you're doing a bicep curl, you're pulling. So it's like the big pull. You're pulling the whole time, and this one's about 50 minutes, I think. And in this one, you're always doing back, back, bicep, bicep, back, back, bicep, bicep, and the backs rotate. So in the first back, you're doing a pull up or a chin up, and then the second one, you're doing a row with dumbbells. So you're like in a crouch, and you're pulling, like you're pulling up your pants. You know, you're just row, row. And let me tell you, it'll gas you out quickly. You think you're going to do a bunch of, like, pull out the 40-pound dumbbells and do that? No, you're not going to do that. It'll gas your arms, so pace yourself on this one. It's a fun workout, and I always look forward to doing this one, okay? Okay, disc 11 is Cardio X. Now, this is like it is what you think it is. It's a cardio workout, and it's about 40, I want to say 42 or 43 minutes long. And it's for people that are not ready for plyometrics. Okay, so it's prominent in the lean program, the lean schedule. And it also says in the fitness book that if ever you feel like you're not ready for a big workout, you just put in Cardio X and substitute. Okay, it's also in the doubles program, it's the doubles workout. So it's your morning workout. And this disc has a formula, so you do like a quick warm up, maybe like 5 minutes, and then you do about 7 minutes of yoga. So it's kind of like they pulled from Yoga X. Okay, so you're gonna do about 7 minutes of yoga, then you're gonna do about 7 minutes of Kenpo, which is kicking and punching. It's cardio based. Then you're going to do about 7 minutes of the easier plyometric stuff. Okay, so like wrapping your leg around a stool. He calls them leg raises. Or these weird kind of jumping jacks, or those kind of moves. Tire jumps, that kind of stuff. And then after the plyometrics, then you finish it with like 6 or 7 minutes of core synergistics. Just moves pulled from that. And I think the first one is the squat, X squat he calls it. And then there's the run in place, and it's those kinds of moves. It's not a hard workout, but what it does do is it gets you, number one, it gets you more familiar with the other discs in the program, with the other workouts. But it's just a good change of pace. And this is also really complementary to Kenpo. So if you ever feel like you don't want to do Kenpo, you could swap out this one, or really any other workout in the program, because you're still going to put in 40 plus minutes of good exercise. And that's Cardio X. Okay. Now the final disc is disc 12, Ab Ripper X. Now, Ab Ripper X is an ab core lower back targeted workout, and it's about 16 minutes long. And if you've never done it before, just be careful. It's hard. I don't mean be careful and you're going to hurt yourself. I mean, it's just be ready, because it's hard the first time you do it. But over time, you start to get good at it. I think by day 40 of the program, I was able to do every rep of Ab Ripper X. Okay. Now it comes on this disc. like I said, you know, they put a 16-minute program on one disc. I don't know why they did that because it's the only thing on this disc. But also Ab Ripper X is on, it's after chest and back, it's after shoulders and arms, it's after back and buys, and it's after chest, shoulders, triceps, and it's after legs and back. So on day one, if you put in chest and back, you do chest and back. As soon as the chest and back workout's over, Ab Ripper X starts playing, okay? I'm trying to think, is it about 10 moves? And there's a stretch in it for me. It's almost impossible, but I can work my way up to it where I can do a lot of the moves. You're always doing 25 reps of everything. A lot of times you're seated and you're doing like ins and outs and bicycles. And then a lot of times you're laying on your back and you're using your legs. You're moving your legs around in a way that's torturing your abs, okay? So for me, the hardest stretch is cross leg, wide leg sit up, Pfeiffer scissors, hip rock and raise, and pulse ups, heels to heaven curve. Those really target the muscles in the belly. I mean, it's hard. And what can I say? Ab Ripper X. It's one of the keys to the program. Okay, now I've walked you through all 12 of the workouts. So now I just want to show you on page 27 of the fitness guide is the classic schedule, okay? And so the schedule is divided up over 90 days. You do 3 weeks where you're essentially doing you're doing a workout every day for 7 days. And it's discs 1 through 7. And then you repeat for week 2 and week 3. And then in the 4th week, you do the recovery week, which is a lot of yoga and a lot of core synergistics and neck stretch. And it's great for you. And then in phase 2 is where you implement the other discs. So you start to do chest, shoulders, triceps, and back and biceps in phase 2. And you mix that in with your plyometrics and your yoga and your X stretch and your legs and back. And so your body's like, what the heck? This is the muscle confusion. So the muscle confusion is 2 things. It's doing a different workout every day, you know, and you're rotating between upper body and lower body for the most part. But then in the second phase, you're swapping out your workouts. So your body's like, I can't keep up. And then in the 3rd phase, what you do is you take the whole program and you mix it all together. So you're interloping your phase 1 and your phase 2 workouts. And that's where the muscle confusion really continues. So you do, the phase 1 is 4 weeks. Phase 2 is weeks 5 through 8, so another 4 weeks. And then the 3rd phase is 5 weeks, so you get a bonus week. And you're taking the workouts from phase 1 and phase 2, and you're mixing and matching them. And that's the magic of P90X. Now I just did a quick count on my tracker list here. Over the years, I've done P90X like the full round, or I sort of hybridized it. I've done it 11 times since 2011. So the next time I do it will be the 12th round. And I'm planning that in, it'll be sometime in 2024. But I did a round last year in 2022, okay? I've done it 11 times, so I've done the program, I've done all these discs many, many, many times. How many times have I done Ab Ripper X over the years? I don't know. You do it 3 times a week. Over 10 weeks, so that's 30 times, and I've done it 11 times. Plus I've substituted it in and out, so I've done it a lot. I've kind of got it memorized. I got all of Tony's stupid jokes memorized and everything. I still like doing it. Home fitness is great because you don't have to leave your house. I'm not trying to sell you this. I don't care if you do it or you don't do it. I'm just saying it works for me because I work at home. I can do home fitness. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to go to a gym. I don't have any equipment to buy. If you have bands or dumbbells and a yoga mat, that's really all you need. And I don't even drink the protein recovery drinks. I don't do any of that. I'm off all the supplementation, and that gives me a different experience because I am a lot more sore than I generally would be if I was drinking like a protein recovery drink or Shakeology or something like that. You know, you feel better because the protein gets right into your muscles. And nowadays, I'm just eating food and I'm eating cleaner, and that's okay. If you did like, if you wanted to follow the fitness diet book, the diet guide, I can't talk. If you want to do the diet book that's in there, you're probably going to get unbelievable results. If you want to do keto, you're probably going to do great. Or the carnivore diet, or if you want to do Atkins, just make sure you're eating the right amount of calories because you need fuel. You need fuel every day, and you need to eat strategically because you don't want to crash, man. You don't. So eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, eat a snack, eat yogurt. Or if, I don't know, maybe like Joe Rogan's doing this ridiculous diet where he does, he's only eating meat. So he's eating probably elk and caribou and steak all the time. That's even more than the carnivore diet. But, a lot of diets will work. Just make sure you're having a balanced diet and you're getting a lot of carbs because you're going to need the energy. Yeah, what else do I want to say in closing? For me, day one was April 1st, 2011. I could go check. I still have all my old trackers. I think I did about maybe 12 or 15 real push-ups. And I could do one pull-up or a chin-up. That's it. Nowadays, and it happens fast. By the end of the first round, I was probably doing 25 really clean, excellent push-ups. And I was up to about 5 pull-ups. I think my all-time record is 53 push-ups. I mean, really clean, like nose to the floor and up and real, I think my record was 53. My all-time record for pull-ups, I think, is 18. That's really hard for me to build up to that because once you get up there, you don't just keep it. If you don't keep working it, you lose it. But like yesterday, I did 11 chin-ups. That made me happy. So I'm good. The program works. If you do it every day, it works. Okay. If you're gonna be lackadaisical about it, or you're gonna take a day off or a week off here or there, you're not gonna get out of it what you want. So, like everything, consistency is key. You got to show up every day. That's 80% of it, as Tony Horton would say. And the other 20% of it is just bring the energy, bring your A game, compete. And that's the magic. You gotta do it. You gotta want to do it. And okay, that's pretty good overview of the program. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. If you like this, please hit like and subscribe. I'm gonna do. I'll walk you guys through next time P90X2. I'll do one for P90. I've done 22-minute hardcore. I've done Insanity, but that was a long time ago. But I can still remember it, so I could do I could talk about the whole Insanity program. I've done it. And Body Beast I've done, and I'm just looking over there at my discs. Tap Out I did. 10-minute trainer, P90. And yeah, so I'll make some more of these, but what does it come back to? P90X. It's the best program I've done. You're very unlikely to get injured if you're following the program. Just do it, man. It's great for you, all right? If you have any questions, leave it. This is Coach Plow Guy out. Remember, precision, power, performance.